Yo, what's up guys, it's JSGC here, and we are here for the Manchester City preview up against Chelsea. This big game, it's our third big game in 7 days. It's been very tiring, hasn't it? So we're going to be cracking on with this preview where realistically both clubs are looking for the win. So we're going to start off first by having a look at our opponents. We're going to talk about Chelsea. Now, they've got a huge task at hand for Chelsea. Manchester City at Stamford Bridge, if you remember, we weren't clinical enough against them. We didn't put our chances away. Chelsea did. That's why they won. That's the small margins that we're dealing with, and I'm almost certain it's going to be small margins again, where we have, capital H-A-V-E, have to be clinical in this game if we are going to win this game. We have to put our chances away. I'm positive that we'll be able to create chances in this game, and I'm certain that Chelsea will also get chances in this game. And so whoever's clinical in this game will end up winning the game. And realistically, we're needing 3 points. We need to be keeping on top of Liverpool and putting them under as much pressure as possible at the top of the Premier League. Chelsea are needing 3 points. Manchester United are playing before them. They need top 4 football. Sarri is under a lot of pressure going into this game. Chelsea need 3 points. They need Champions League football. Manchester United need Champions League football. There's so much going on this game. It's unreal. And so, once again, Manchester United fans are going to be Man City fans for this game. Obviously, they play first. They'll be looking for a win. But if they pick up that win on Saturday, they'll all become Manchester City fans, as they know that we want us to do them a favour. And so they're needing us to, obviously, take the points off Chelsea. And Chelsea dropping points is always going to be positive for also Tottenham, who are above Chelsea, and also Manchester United and Arsenal. Now, in terms of playing style, we're looking at both sides being a very attacking teams. Both like to pass, very easy on the ice. We're anticipating this being a very good game, so as long as the weather's alright and the pitch isn't that sticky, we should see a nice free-flowing game. I'm expecting both teams to be quite aggressive, particularly in the middle, trying to win back the ball. So I'm talking players like Kante, I'm talking players like Barkley, who can really make the difference in this game. They need to go man for man and like for like on Manchester City's midfield. And so, like I said, Kante and Barkley, they're very important in this game, in being able to try and cut the supply off to Manchester City, being nice and positive and nice and aggressive in the middle, and working the ball up to go forward for counter-attack. So they're very important in this game. We're looking at Chelsea's problems. We're looking further afield. We're looking up front. We're looking at Eden Hazard. We don't need to talk about his quality. We already know how good he can be. He's a game changer. He can make things happen from seemingly nothing happening. He's one of them players that can make a real difference, and so being able to cut him out of the game is always going to be a big positive for us. So if either Walker or Danilo's starting, then they're going to have to probably man-mark him out the game. And I'm thinking that we might see Sterling and Sane playing in this game. I wouldn't be surprised, if I'm honest, to see a Mahrez and Sane partnership. I know Sane didn't play particularly well in the last game. However, he did track back and helped us out a lot defensively, and we knew that once we went 1-0 up, was needing extra numbers at the back, and Sane did very well in tracking back, and Riyad Mahrez has got a good track record of tracking back, and we're going to need as much help as possible, because in terms of Premier League teams that's capable of going to the Etihad and attacking us and causing us problems, we're looking at Liverpool. Then who do you think of? You're going to be thinking of Chelsea, Tottenham, Manchester United. They've got the quality there to be able to do that, and so we need to put the plans in motion to be able to deal with that. And I'm confident that if we can have both of the wing backs and the wingers bombing up and down the wing and stretching that pitch and making the pitch as big as possible, that may be a way of tiring out Chelsea's attack and cutting off the supply to players like Eden Hazard, Pedro or Willian or Hudson-Odoi, whoever ends up starting on the wings, and cutting off the supply also to the big man up front, which I'm expecting to be Gonzalo Higuain. So we need to be able to cut off Chelsea's attack, and being able to do that. One way of doing that is obviously playing our normal game, using the wingers and tracking back, going defensively, and then offensively going forward. We need to make sure that playing the high line that we like to play, we're stopping balls coming over and balled into space, so we need to make sure we're switched on at the back and forcing Chelsea to go backwards and forcing their back line then to go back as well, and it'll end up isolating their attackers, and you'll find it easier in being able to create opportunities for us. And so it's so difficult. There's so many things to think about. I'm confident that we've got the genius in Pep. He'll know all this. He'll know what to expect. He loves big games. He loves playing teams at the Etihad. So I'm looking forward to this game. It'll be interesting to see what both sides do. In terms of teams we're looking at from the remainder of the season, teams that are capable of beating us. Every single Premier League team is capable of beating us, by the way, if we don't turn up. But if we do turn up, very few teams are capable of beating us. I'd say Chelsea are one of the few remaining teams that, if we turn up and play well, we still may not end up winning this game. And so we need to be extra careful in this game. And so, like I said, cutting off their space, being dominant in midfield, causing Chelsea problems and obviously putting our chances away is in my opinion, the way of going about this. Now, in Chelsea's form, won 3 of the last 4 games. Last time they went away, though, they had a battering 4-0 away at Bournemouth. Rectified it a little bit last weekend. Won 5-0 at home against Huddersfield. 4th in the league, like I said, Manchester United are playing first, and Man United win means they'll go over Chelsea. It's an incredibly difficult game, this one. This is a game very similar to the match that we had last weekend against Arsenal. My opinion, you're free to disagree, but in my opinion, Chelsea are a better side and better prepared than what Arsenal are, so this will be a more difficult game. However, I felt like the Liverpool game was more difficult than what this Chelsea game will be. We played a lot of games before that Liverpool game. We weren't in a great run of form going into that game, and we still turned up and played a phenomenal game, even without Kevin De Bruyne there. And so we've got Chelsea coming up now. We've played a load of games. Chelsea are nice and fresh. I think they've had, 8 days off? I think they've had off from their last game to this game, whereas we've played, this is our 3rd game in 7 days. So they're going to be nice and fresh going into this game. I'm confident if we can match the intensity level that we got against Liverpool and be clinical, very key. If we're clinical, we will create opportunities no matter what. If we're clinical and put our chances away, we'll win this game, no problem. We need the 3 points. Chelsea need the 3 points. It's all to play for. It's extremely interesting. It's that time of the year. These are the type of games you get in April and May. It's bloody February. Man, very difficult. Team news for City, though. Mendy, rumours are he's been in Barcelona. He's had a setback on his injury. I've done this video before Pep's done his press conference, so it's on schedule, obviously. So you'll obviously know more about that Mendy injury than me at this moment in time. But he won't be playing in this game. We won't have Vincent Kompany either. We won't have Bravo either. Everyone else is back. Seen people talking or chatting disrespect about David Silva, how he shouldn't start in this game and he's not been very good, and we want David to go bold again so he can go good. Now, David Silva is still an exceptional player, a player that's getting no younger. To ask him to maintain levels at his age, it's extremely difficult. He is still capable. He's an excellent player. He looks like he needs a rest, though. Would this be a good time to have him have a rest and be able to then move Bernardo Silva into the centre, because he's a workhorse? Very impressive he has been out on the right wing. Wouldn't it be better to move him into the centre, allow us to go with that extra winger? I'm expecting Sane to start, and like I said, take your pick. Maybe we might see Raheem Sterling go out on the left. We might see Riyad Mahrez. It all depends on if Man City are anticipating Chelsea attacking at us. We might need that extra bit of cover. So it's very interesting. Obviously, Riyad Mahrez is very fresh. He's not played that many games, so he might be better suited to this game. And plus, he's a very good crosser of the ball, and he can make things happen on set play too. And so he does have that to his game. So it'll be interesting to see who Pep goes with. I'm expecting De Bruyne to go into the middle, but it's very, very hard to predict this, because could we go with Gundogan? Could we go with De Bruyne? Could we go with Jesus? Could we go with Aguero? It's so difficult. Who knows? I could be way off with my team prediction. I could be nailed on. First, we're going to do my score prediction. I'm feeling confident in this game. We looked a bit tired against Everton, but we still managed to grind out a 2-0 win, which is easier said than done. And so I'm confident if we can get grinding in this game, work hard, give Chelsea the runaround. We're on our home patch after all. Chelsea beat us at Stamford Bridge. We should have that fire in our belly to want to rectify that game. And plus, Kevin De Bruyne loves playing against Chelsea. He always tries really hard to try and score past his former club. Always seems like he's got a point to prove. I'm hoping that we can make things happen. Not try too hard, but try our best. There's a big difference. Trying too hard is you're trying to make things happen that are just never on because you're trying to impress. Whereas if we just work hard and do our normal thing, things naturally come, and that's how we'll get the best out of Kevin De Bruyne. And Kevin De Bruyne is a player that can really cut open Chelsea when and if he feels like it, and so it's important we get him back to that top level. And it's about time Kevin De Bruyne got back to that level. He's coming back from injury. He's had a nice week's rest. Unleash him against Chelsea. Very difficult. I've got the 2-1 Manchester City for this. It's so difficult. That's more of my heart speaking than my head. I mean, it could be a draw, we could lose. Liverpool played before us, they've got Bournemouth, they might drop points. Who knows? It's completely unpredictable. I'll have a clearer indication as the game goes on in this game about how Man City are feeling, but there's so much pressure going on this game. There's so much pressure going on with Liverpool beforehand. Man United need to get a result in their game as well on Saturday, so there's things to talk about before this game even gets started, and then when we get to this game it's so difficult to predict. But I've gone for 2-1 Man City. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'm going to pop up my team prediction. I've gone for Ederson in goal, Walker at right back, Laporte at left back like we've seen, Stones and Otamendi and Fernandinho can turn into into a back 5 as quickly as it goes into a back 3. I've gone for Fernandinho, Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. That's going to be our middle. Like I said, I'd give David a rest. Bernardo Silva is more than capable of stepping up to the plate. He's a workhorse. He's a phenomenal player. And like I said, if De Bruyne's enjoyed his week off and managed to get back onto firing on all cylinders and we've got him back to his best, then he's a real asset. I've gone for Mahrez, Sané and Jesus up front. Jesus scored in his last game. He's fresher than what Sergio Aguero is. And I'd go with Jesus purely because he tracks back. He's more like a natural number 9. He drops deeper. It'll cause Chelsea problems and it also allow our wingers then to cut in too. So it's always a benefit for some players like Leroy Sané if that is happening. I've gone for Mahrez. Mahrez is fresher than Raheem Sterling and he tracks back. But I won't be surprised to see a Sterling and Sané. I won't be surprised to see a Mahrez and Sterling either. So difficult to predict, so I'd love to know your score prediction and team prediction in the comments below. So there we go, that has been the video. We have some terrible news. I would have covered it in yesterday's video, however I had that on schedule, and so this is on to the Saturday's video, so I've only just found out about it this morning. I filmed this on the Friday, but unfortunately, if you remember the incident that happened with the Cardiff City striker and former FC Nantes striker Emiliano Sala, his plane went missing, and I think it was early parts of this week. They'd found the wreckage of the plane in the English Channel on the seabed, and they've made rescue attempts. Then they said they've found a body in there. They've made rescue attempts to retrieve that body, which they've successfully done, and that's been sent off for post-mortem examinations. And it's been identified that that body is unfortunately of football player Emiliano Sala. The pilot of the plane, David Ibbotson, is still missing. We don't know a lot of details on that one. It's an unfortunately sad situation to be dealing with. I mentioned it on a previous video and I wanted to mention it again on this video because whilst the family are looking for closure, I want to offer a little bit of closure to the rest of the footballing world and keeping everyone up to date on this incredibly sad situation. So like I said on the last time I covered this, all of my thoughts and condolences of here from me and everyone involved with JSGC goes out to the families of Emiliano Sala and his friends, and also of the pilot's family and friends, David Ibbotson. I'm hoping they'll get some closure too soon and they'll be able to find his body too, because it's just it's an awful situation. I can't even begin to imagine what they are going through. It's just desperately awful. So there we go, that's been the video. I don't feel it's right for me to plug any of my information or anything on this video or in the description or anything like that one. So I'm not going to, I won't be running any ads on this video too either. I don't want to be profiting from such a devastating incident to have happened. And so like I said, this video is completely dedicated to Emiliano Sala and pilot David Ibbotson too, and all of the thoughts of everyone involved at JSGC goes out to the family and friends of both of them involved at this desperately sad times.